Good morning and welcome to the Alaskan Malamute Club of America. This is our final day where we will be showing you our rescue parade, and these are people who have rescued Alaskan Malamutes that needed to find a home. And so we're going to celebrate with them today at these dogs and the wonderful life that they now live. The rescue parade will be followed by junior showmanship, and then we'll move right on into
welcome
Best
to
of
the
Breed.
beautiful Willamette Valley here in Oregon. We're thrilled you could join us for AMAL's Rescue Showcase today. AMAL is proud to have passed a milestone of 20 years of service to our magnificent breed in 2020. We appreciate you being here to celebrate today's special guests and cheering them on. The AMAL Rescue Showcase is dedicated to all rescuers, all affiliates, and those who provide foster homes for our dogs and with literally no place to go. Their work is endless, turning frightened and abandoned animals into loving pets, as you can see in our showcase. These unsung heroes find their rewards in the grateful looks in the dogs' eyes and in the happy smiles of their new owners. To all who have nurtured, protected, and then let go, thank you. First up, we're going to have Nuka. Nuka is the companion of Seema and Vijay Shetty. Nuka was formerly Snuffles, who joined their family on March 1st in 2020, a week before the world shut down due to COVID. Not much is known about his prior life, but we were warned that he was going to be a difficult dog with high resource guarding instincts and behavioral issues. He's been returned to Walmart twice with brief stints of being adopted. The pandemic shutdown allowed us to focus on his training right away. We worked with a seasoned trainer who taught us to recognize his triggers and set him up for success. Every day of the last 2 years has been an adventure. He's a master negotiator, and he still tries to push his boundaries. He chases after bunnies and guards anything remotely edible. He loves his lazy mornings, his belly rugs, and his toys, but he has yet to destroy one. This is Nuka. Next we have Luna. Luna is a companion of Heidi Van Zee. Luna got busted with a buddy in a mouthful of chicken feathers when she was about 3 years old and was kicked out of an adjacent county by a judge. The receiving shelter promptly contacted WAMAL to evaluate her temperament and take her to the rescue. When we showed up to evaluate and transport her, we learned that she was with staff favorite. Luna immediately approached us with a squiggly affection. She was obviously well-loved, well-fed, and needed to lose about 20 pounds. We expected the first leg of her transport north to Amel. When she arrived at our home, she had enough of transporting. Luna made herself at home, and as though she'd always lived there with us. Our two male mixes accepted her with bored indifference. We were officially transport failures. Luna loves going to dog parks, daycares, the forest, and wherever she can ramble. She's been with us for 6 years now, and it's hard to see with the glaze over her once so bright eyes. I wish we had 1,000,000 years with this shining soul. Next, we'd like to meet Eli. Eli is a companion of Brian Hawker and Andrew Hunter. Eli, known as the Great White Bear, came to our family after we lost Blaze, our last rescued Malamute. When we looked at potential buddies for our 2-year-old Malamute, Lobi, we were drawn to Eli's story and knew he wasn't going to be an easy or fast adoption. While this big guy is easygoing, playful, and your typical cuddly Malamute, he suffers from medical issues. After being surrendered, we found out that Eli had early stages of kidney disease and he was already showing symptoms. We knew we probably would not have him for a long time. His foster family got him the care he needed, and he started a special diet program which includes polenta and oven-roasted veggies. Knowing that this goofy kid deserved to have the best life possible for as long as possible, we asked for an introduction to be set up. We traveled to Seattle for the dogs to meet on a Sunday afternoon. It was puppy love immediately between both dogs. They did what Malamutes do best, roughhoused and carried on. We knew we had a new buddy, and we arranged to pick him up and bring him to our home. Eli loves TV. He will literally watch any program. It doesn't matter if we are watching science fiction or a period drama. He will sit at the couch and watch until Lobie gets in his face. Eli doesn't shake his paw very often, but he will turn over and expect tummy rubs from everyone he meets. Next, we have the wonderful Echo. Echo is a companion of Brian Bruner. Echo is a true Alaskan girl from Kodiak, Alaska, where she spent her first 6 years with her Coast Guard family. Following their transfer, she eventually found herself surrendered to a shelter where she spent almost 3 months. The shelter reported she was the office dog and had free rein to greet all the incoming dogs. They kept trying to find a home for her because she had such a wonderful personality. 3 failed adoptions later, Mel brought Echo into foster care. I'm certain her adoptive failures were misunderstanding of her assertive and vocal and overly playful plus happy personality. We discovered she was hypothyroid, and she is now on for 11 pounds with treatment. Her fur is somewhere between a woolly mammoth and a woolly Malamute, and is quite the challenge to maintain. Her personality is a total 10, with both adults and children. Echo likes to push her way between your legs and look up at you and say, "Here I am," as if you didn't already notice. So we now have a redhead, a blonde, and a brunette, or so to speak, and they all get along wonderfully. This is Echo. Here comes Bob and Oreo. Oreo is a beloved companion of Bob Sutherland and Nikki McCullough. Oreo wooed into their home in October of 2015 after adoption from Champ while he was not a member of the Durham Malamute Rescue in Durham, North Carolina in 2015, where 31 Malamutes were seized by authorities. He was adopted by 2 Good Samaritans before the seizure, who later turned him over to rescue. Sadly, his health problems were significant, and he was treated for hip dysplasia while under the care of Angela Brown. After adoption, we found out he was missing 2 discs in his neck. He is currently being treated for severe dental problems, which will probably mean the last of his teeth will be removed in the next couple of years. Upon adoption, he was in such poor muscle mass, he couldn't even jump into bed. I mean, what 1-year-old Malamute can't jump into a bed? We, of course, love him to death and are so happy to have him in our lives. He loves nothing more than morning scratches as he lays at my feet, zoomies every time he steps on the snow. He loves his snuffies, a good hiker ski, and his best friends and partner in crime, Tommy their Jingo, and of course dinner. Oreo is a gift. Next, we have the beautiful Summer. Summer is a companion of Ray Sattler and Brandon Russell. In 2013, I moved to Alaska and began exploring the mountains, but quickly knew I was missing a trail companion and wanted to offer a home to a rescue husky or Malamute, as had the opportunity to work with Bob Sutherland, who was at that time running Alaskan Malamute Rescue of Alaska. Bob had brought home a pregnant Malamute that had been dumped at the shelter. Nervous and excited, I visited the mom and puppies and melted when I saw those tiny polar bear faces. I picked up a few, and some squirming and whimpering, but I knew Summer was the one since when she stared at me with those big, beautiful brown eyes. We took to the trails, the biking trails, the ski trails, and we even made our own trails where there weren't any. We were inseparable and deeply bonded. At 3 years old, her health took a turn for the worse, but she's doing well now. Summer's antics are hilarious and include her good morning woos, back talking when asked to get in the tub, her crazies every time she finds snow, and now she must go through every culvert. 6 months ago, we packed up and traded me chasing summer, chasing moose in Alaska, for me chasing summer, chasing deer in Oregon. Summer became more than my trail companion, and I'm grateful to Bob for the laughs, the heartaches, the headaches that he brought this sweet girl into my life. Welcome, Silver. Silver is loved by Deidre and William Russell. When AMAL was contacted in July of 2020, Silver's new journey began. She and another Malamute had survived on their own for quite some time in the elements of Eastern Oregon. Silver was very street smart, and she was a challenge to capture. It actually took several attempts. My son William became her foster. He worked to train and gain her trust. She formed a bond with William and started to become a dog. When we felt she was ready for adoption, she was placed, but was returned. This is when William realized that Silver was already home and that she wanted him to be her human. William worked with her every day, and with time, Silver opened up to others. It's a light went off, and she realized that people were good. Silver now greets everyone as if she's known them all her life. She's a completely different dog from that first day. Silver started showing her personality, her playful side, and what a diva she was after a spa day. I'd now like to ask everybody to please, let's have them all go around the ring for a round of applause, thanking all of these adopters, these wonderful dogs. And then we do have an award that we will be giving out once they leave the ring. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. Let's get our big round of applause if you would come around the ring. Are you in the building? Ricky Anderson, could you please come up and see me at the table? Is this Sharon? Sharon.
Here you go,
I need to talk to you in just a minute. I have a live mic, so. At this point, AMAL would like to Christensen Award winner, Ricky Anderson. Ricky Anderson. Ricky Anderson volunteers for AMAL and is this year's honoree. AMAL is incredibly fortunate that Ricky Anderson fundraises, does PR, and is an incredibly wonderful volunteer. She's received substantial donations following AMAL's expand to our Mali Valley Kennel, secured funding for sponsorship to provide dogs with much-needed surgeries, launched the Mali Muse, a delightful monthly newsletter that highlights adoptable dogs and current events, secured a huge variety of donations for our annual Loot for Moots auction, participates in It's Still Growing. And it's still growing. Sorry, launched and grown with participation the number of other fundraisers, including Poorly Drawn Pets, the calendar contest, Hike with AMAL. Attracts more volunteers and support to WAMAL in various capacities and spread awareness of WAMAL's mission. A former president of WAMAL, she and her husband Brad have donated time and handyman skills to improve the Mali Valley. Though she's trying to retire from her fundraising activities, Ricky is still much active with WAMAL and can sometimes be found picking up poop, filling Kong ties, or reading one of our rescues at Mali Valley. I would like to thank you very much, Ricky Anderson, for being this year's 2023 Christensen Award winner. Thank you, everybody, for coming and supporting today's showcase.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing this moment with us with these lovely dogs. We're thrilled that they would bring them, and I'm sure that there's probably not a dry eye in the house. I want to personally thank these owners who've come so far and have done so much, and we really appreciate their efforts. Thank you.